Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I don't know what work day it is. At some point I need to look up and figure out where I am in the whole saga. But my update for today is, of course, that I'm here in the office, or what will become the office. It was the smallest of the bedrooms, and I've gotten probably about 50% of the demolition done. So the entire framing and everything for the closet is no more. I just have a few pieces left here, and then it's a little hard on your body to go up and down and up and down. I did quite a few trips today, up and down the stairs. So I have just a little bit more, and let me show you the work smarter, not harder thing that I do. So basically I kind of prep everything right at the top of the stairs. And I have kind of light, small stuff, and then, a bigger piece of 2x4 or something. And the rule is just every time you go down the stairs, you grab something, and you're going down the stairs anyway, so it's not too bad. And throughout the week, you kind of eventually just get things down there. So that's how I've operated in the past, and it generally works pretty well. And Hess is not helpful. But she's investigating because they really are fascinated by this room. So you can see still quite a bit of water damage, and I started to pull down some of the paper on the ceiling just to see what's going on. But I did want to leave this one little area so that I can show you a little bit more about that. I'm going to save some of that for another time when I get all of this cleared out, because that way you'll be able to see a little bit more. But essentially, this is where at some point they had put a closet in, and then they took the closet back out. It was a pretty generous closet. Let me back up so that you can see some of that. For all intents and purposes, and especially probably in the 40s and 50s, that was a walk-in closet. That was pretty nice. So that's actually where and how that really cool wallpaper that I showed earlier was. So the square that you see is where I kind of strategically removed some of that so that I could kind of preserve it. And I did leave the other piece that I found over here on the other side, which I can't really get a good angle to show you guys, but I will in a future video. Clearly they put the other framing for that wall up against the frame of the door, and so that's how it was preserved. So kind of cool. Other than that, that particular area, which is where a lot of my electrical is going to be concentrated for the office, so all of my monitors and my computer and everything, that will be plugged in there. So that's nice because now I can get good true measurements. I can actually start cutting things out as far as the openings, and go from there. So the reason why I really wanted to work kind of hard today was I've been very curious for a long time. I wanted to be able to take a look at this part of the wall and figure out what is going on. So the other side of this is the bathroom, and I knew somewhere in there is the main cast iron stack, which is a 4-inch pipe that goes through from all the way from below the house straight up through the first floor, the second floor, the attic, and then through the roof. And so it basically vents and allows for air to replace any of the waste that's flushed out through the plumbing system, so that you get suction, because otherwise things would just kind of sit, which you don't want. So this one hasn't actually been in service for a while. I think it was about the time that I had my appendectomy. It was the last time that it was kind of used. And so it's currently abandoned, but I want to get it back in service. What I need to do is cast iron generally lasts about a century, which is great. If you look at building materials today that last a century, there aren't that many. So no complaints there, but this house is already, I think, 127 years old. So it's time. What I will do is basically replace this whole thing in kind. I'm going to put PVC in instead, and so I needed to start from the roof down. So we'll go in the attic and we'll take that piece out, and then we'll start working our way down, which means this whole board is actually going to come out anyways, the one that looks rotten, because clearly it's cracked and there's probably been a roof leak around it at some point. I haven't noticed anything active, but that doesn't mean that that's not the case and it wasn't hidden. So now we're going to get to really lay eyes on it, which will be good. The other reason, and actually the reason why I stopped today, is when you see all of that It kind of looks like it's wet. It is. It's not actual water leakage. It's bug spray that I sprayed all over everything for, termites and pests and everything else. Because when I did open it up, I found quite the collection of Asian lady beetles, which are an invasive species that was brought here. You guys would probably have them in your house too, so it's not specific to old houses or anything like that. They just like to have a place to hide for the winter, and so they go where, just under the siding where it would be nice and warm. But when I opened that up, I crushed a few. They don't smell pleasant. I would like for them to completely go away because they are competition for our native ladybugs, which is not good. Anyways, I just want to kind of get all of that cleared out and not breathe any of it. Also, you can see kind of the junk, which tells me that there was probably mice, rats, something like that at some point. I didn't see any evidence of it right now, but there are some serious health concerns, especially in a pandemic. I really want to protect my respiratory system. I'm already pushing the limits, working around Gypboard, because we just don't have that many masks to be able to work with. So I'm going to give my system a break. I'm going to let some of this clear out and air out. And then I probably will don a mask just specifically to go and tackle this and get it all cleaned out. So you can still see some of these little bugs flying around. I also saw a couple of actual honeybees, which is a little concerning because I haven't seen any previously, and now I'm noticing them in the yard. And I want to think that it's because we have a great ecosystem that's kind of starting to thrive again, but I actually am very concerned that they might be in a wall somewhere, and I'm going to have some sort of a new problem on my hands. So let's hope that's not the case. But anyways, so I've sprayed for termites and these beetles as they encounter the spray, which is organic and all that kind of stuff. It will kill them off, or at least make them go somewhere else to somebody else's house. So we will take all this out, like I said, get it a little bit cleaner. And it's nice to just be able to know what's going on now. So it looks like I may still have this bump out, but I'll be able to insulate and maybe provide some access to it, which would be nice on the back end side. Likewise, this was my interesting discovery. So I had actually thought about, it would be handy to have a laundry room upstairs. Clearly somebody else thought of that too. So this is what that was. Here's the reason why. So my parents actually, I've always grown up with the laundry room upstairs, and there's a lot to be said for it. Although I have to say they missed a huge opportunity. So our laundry room, in the house that I grew up with, that was built in 1903, it actually has a pass-through that Dad put in. It's just a little box, and you can, throw your dirty clothes and stuff right into the laundry room. It's like the equivalent of a laundry chute. Lovely, best invention ever. Don't know why they didn't put that in. So that was a total miss on their part. But the reason why I wouldn't want to put it up here is you do have to haul those appliances up and down the stairs at least a few times in your lifetime, which is not good for the building either, because you're risking bumping into all of the beautiful woodwork. And there at one point was a lot of beautiful, gorgeous beveled glass and leaded glass in this house. And I just don't really want to invite that risk. Additionally, I've actually recently done this, completely didn't pay attention, but the overflow sink where the washing machine drains was clogged with something, and so it overflowed and it leaked into the kitchen below, which ironically the kitchen is also below this room as well. So when you do have a water problem, you've created the risk of damaging more below the room. So I'm just not a huge fan of that. For the life of this building, most people have had the laundry room downstairs. So I think I'm going to go that route. But anyways, you can see yet another time that this house almost caught on fire, which is so frustrating. So it's copper pipe, which we're about to take out, so nobody get excited. And I guess when they soldered it, they didn't put in the protection blanket, which there's actually a little blanket that you can put around there. It's not an ideal situation. I wouldn't have even terminated everything right there, but whatever. So when they did that, obviously they melted and even singed the wood in that box. So yeah, that's a bummer. But it explains a lot because I didn't understand in looking from the other side in the bathroom. There's a sink on the other side of this room. And from below, why they had abandoned the lines and the drain that went through the wall and moved it over to go through the floor. It just made no sense to me. And so now I know that's what's going on. So what we'll do is we'll go back and use that opportunity to rerun everything back through the wall to the sink like it originally was. This could actually be a handy opportunity as it's all pretty much compromised anyways. I'll probably put in a little access door and I'll make it look kind of nice. They do that in modern homes as well. And so you can actually get to the plumbing from this side to be able to do any, work or repairs or anything. So this could be kind of handy. I think that's how I'm going to look at it. So anyways, I think this little bump out's probably going to stay, but we'll see as we start getting into it. So I think that is about it. I'm going to go clean up a little bit, kind of get this place a little bit more secured for the week. Last night I forgot to close those windows and a wind storm came in probably 2 or 3 a.m. and started blowing everything around. So I'm in my pajamas and my work boots, like climbing through here to try and close everything off. So I'm going to try and get everything a little bit more neat and clean so I don't have to deal with the dust and stuff for the rest of the week. And you guys take care. Have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.